Hey guys, I've been binging a lot of the DC animated movies lately that have come out in the past like 10 or so years. And turns out, like, who'd think me, I'd have thoughts on a media that exists. But turns out Leon, I swear to fucking God, that was my cat Leon. Anyways, but if you're not a big fan of DC, maybe these aren't for you. But just because you haven't seen films in question, not a problem. I'm going to give a basic plot synopsis, make it a bit entertaining, and then I'll give like some thoughts that I think could be enjoyed by everyone. So we're going to start off not with the first film in the DCAU, which is the DC Animated Universe. It's a whole kind of consistent story between all these recent movies. But we're going to start with Justice League Throne of Atlantis, which is the first one that comes after the first Siege of Darkseid onto Earth, which was Justice League War, which came after Flashpoint Paradox, which set everything up. But Throne of Atlantis takes place with the Justice League all together, not entirely as we know them, but like mostly all together. We don't have some of the oddballs in there yet, and as this film goes, Aquaman. The film starts off with, we see a submarine, and oh my god, one of the people has a kid on board. That fucking sucks, he's dead, because everyone dies, because we're into the dark. Justice League, dark, but that's a later movie. But Justice League is dark now, and like people die, and people with kids, they die, and it sucks, and you feel bad. We're gonna make you feel bad about it, except you don't really, because you don't care, because they die in like a minute. So everyone on board the submarine fucking dies by mystery assailants, and they're like under fucking water. Who the fuck could do that? I don't know. Maybe watch the movie. Maybe it's Aquaman. Maybe that's why. Maybe he kills them all. Anyways, everyone's dead, so we flash over to the like actual movie that you paid to see, or maybe didn't because you pirated it. But it's okay. This is a movie about Aquaman and water, and therefore pirates are dope. But we don't get pirates because that would have been a better movie. So Cyborg finds the wreck of the submarine, and he gets the newly formed Justice League, gets them all together, and they do an investigation. It turns out fucking Atlantis. It's real, and pseudoscience is great, which is definitely a thing that this film should be promoting, is pseudoscience. That's what the world needs right now. Immediately dispelling any mystery we had about Atlantis, we actually see Atlantis. It shows us Atlantis, like, immediately. And inside, Queen. She's great. She's got a big old lightning stick. I think they call it a trident in the film, but it's very clearly a lightning stick, which I think was Benjamin Franklin. So, I don't know. Anyway, she has an asshole son named Orm, and he's like, you are not right, and we should kill the Shofis because they are evil. Hey, Leon. And, wait, is that Black Manta with him? Uh-oh. Looks like Orm isn't the best guy. Fuck Atlantis. This is Aquaman movie. This is the water dude guy man movie. And we haven't seen him in like 20 minutes. So we see Aquaman man, he exists, and Mira's there and she's going to get him, but he's going to get assassinated by the Orm guy because he heard about this bastard son that the queen had. Oh yeah, by the way, like Aquaman's dad fucked a mermaid, and that's Aquaman, and he's royalty. He's like bastard mermaid incest, like weird interspecies royal. Don't think about it too much. It's not great to think about. Justice League find Aquaman man. They tracked him down because pseudoscience is great, and they found it. And we get everyone working together, and it's kind of fun to see. So they go down to Atlantis, and Shazam's there, and he's a kid, and he's like, what the fuck, Atlantis exists? And then, Nathan Fillion, I believe in this film they call him Green Lantern, is like, wow, Flash, look, look at, like, Atlantis exists. That's wacky. We have a wacky job. We didn't just fight, like, universe aliens. Like, this is real wacky. But when they get down there, everything's weird, and, Mira is telling Aquaman, hey, you're gonna finally get to see your mom that you thought abandoned you. And Aquaman's like, oh, dude, my mom that abandoned me? Mermaid mom? But fuck you, I'm the writer for the movie, and I have my big boy pants on, so I kill people because I'm a big boy. So Orm, like, like has just killed the queen, of course, and then shows up like immediately. I was like, oh, how are they gonna find Orm? Like, he's probably gonna go lead the invasion against the Surface because he just convinced everyone like she got assassinated by some fucking dude. Also, Black Man is just there, but like whatever. But yeah, he just walks up. He's just there, and he's like, Mara's like, what happened here? And he's like, I killed the queen. Yeah, it was me. Ha ha ha. I am evil Ocean Son. I think they call me Ocean Master sometimes, but to this they just call me Orm, because that's funny. Orm. Orm. Worm. 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 So finally, we're gonna get the battle that this movie's been building up to a whole runtime. The epic conclusion, the epic climax of a full-blown war between the legendary city of Atlantis and the ultimate power of the surface dwellers and their superheroes. Like, oh my god, this is gonna be amazing. And that's why we get a whole 9 minutes of it. 9 minutes. 9 minutes of this 90-minute film. That's a little... I mean, I guess I could be happy that the title of the movie lives up to what it is, because the movie does spend a lot of time about the throne of Atlantis. It's not this movie's not Justice League, the interesting movie about war. Justice League... Well, we just did Justice League War. We can't do it again. Sorry, correction on my previous statement. This is not a 90-minute movie. It's a 72-minute movie, 5 of which are the closing credits. So we're not getting a 90-minute movie, and we're not getting 90-minute pacing. So I forgive them for a 9-minute final fight. I wish it was more, I do, but we can get into critiques and my thoughts in a little bit. But that is probably a proportional amount of runtime. So sorry, I have my notes here. So they go start a war, and it's over in like 9 minutes, and they win by, not winning, but exposing Orm's treachery, because they took like a fucking cam footage of it. They had found footage of Orm being like, yes, I'm evil. And all the soldiers are like, fuck this, dude, I want to go back home to Atlantis. So Orm is defeated. War's over, Atlanteans go back home, US Army is just like, okay, I guess we won't fucking further advance, like, do any kind of further aggression, even though they fucking would. And peace is brokered, with the Justice League kind of serving as this political entity, and Aquaman deciding that to keep his dual heritage, and to keep his mind open and always ready for both sides, because he's, surface dweller, but also half Atlantean, will join the Justice League. Almost like a political move, to help him be a better king. And that's where the movie ends. We get this like, we're Justice, and Aquaman and Mara are like kissing. And it's like, was this really established? But I mean, now checking runtime, 72 minutes. Guess it was. Now we're going to get to my thoughts and criticisms. Some praises as well. I'll usually try to, for however many of these, if I do another one, I probably will. I'll try to throw in like a couple scenes or moments that were, really well done or really funny, really served characters great, that I personally enjoyed. But most of this is going to be kind of like a critical point of view. Oh, starting off, amazing start. Fantastic. The bit with the submarine was really well done. You've got this like mystery going on, and it builds on the effects of Justice League War, where they all came together to stop this global calamity. But this submarine going down is mysterious and weird, and certainly tragic for all the people who mysteriously died on board. But it's not like world calamity level yet. They don't know. But Cyborg certainly thinks it's bad enough, and, has to assemble the Justice League, who technically exist. They have like the Justice League Hall, but it establishes very quickly the only person who's ever there is Cyborg. Cyborg's trouble assembling the League is really entertaining to watch. I really enjoyed it. Just having that he puts out a summons, and the only two people who show up on time are him and Shazam, who is a child, and he's like, oh, thanks for showing up, and Shazam was like, oh, dude, anything to get out of school. And then Flash, like, books it in, and he's like, oh, man, guys, I'm so sorry I'm late. And then there's no one fucking in there, which, it's just funny. And so, Flash is like, okay, well, let's just go fucking get them, like... so they have to go get Green Lantern, and he's really pissed about it. And Batman doesn't even intend on coming in the first place, but finally he shows up. And Superman and Wonder Woman are like out on a date, what the fuck ever. But it very much sets up that these guys don't really function as a team yet, but they will. One of the most important things, at least to me, to talk about when you talk about any Aquaman property is Aquaman himself. How is he done? Like, what? Not necessarily like, the way you discuss Batman, where it's like, which adaptation is this? Which Batman? Aquaman's in this weird place where, not everyone, I'd say most people, even like pretty big DC fans like myself, don't know anything about different adaptations of Aquaman. I just know the different ways he's been shown in different medias. And there's just been this tendency to try to combat like the fun that people poke at Aquaman, and I don't get that, because he's supposed to be fun. He's the one who's having fun no matter what it is. And yeah, the Aquaman we get is a mostly serious one. He cracks a couple of like the classic lines. He says outrageous at one point, which is fun, but even when he said it, it didn't quite feel in character for him. He's this, when we first see him in the film, he's like drinking his life away and talking to a lobster in a bar, like in a glass tank, because he's a fucking loser. He's a nobody, and he doesn't know why he's a freak. He notices he has like these weird superpowers, and he can like talk to fish and shit. I don't like the more serious Aquaman, and the design, I don't like either. It grew on me a little bit. Just a little bit. Here, there. You can look at it. It grew on me. I still don't like it. It fits the artistic style. Fits the more serious Aquaman. They did a good job with that. Just not the Aquaman I wanted. I like my Aquaman to be more like this. That's from Batman Brave and the Bold, and he talks like this. Outrageous! We shall tell our tales to everyone, Batman. And he's basically just like this fun fucking ocean swashbuckler. And he's having a great time. This Aquaman's not having a great time. And I do miss that. I miss an Aquaman that has fun. Putting in 2 simple pictures took way too fucking long. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this on Snapchat, but who gives a shit? Alright, next thing on the agenda. When they first go down to Atlantis, you got basically all the heavy hitters of the Justice League. You got Superman, you got Wonder Woman, they're all down there, and Orm's like, I killed her, and starts beating up Mera and Aquaman, and the Justice League is like, alright, let's go fucking attack, and he just beats him. Orm just wins, like, instantly. He just like, electric, haha, we're underwater, you suck. And I'm like, but do they suck? I guess they do. It's like mostly into the movie, and you're telling me they suck, so I guess they suck now. Orm's just the fucking coolest. The guy who sounds like a worm is just like the coolest guy. Wish he was in Justice League. But Orm easily defeats them the first time. Fine, they're underwater. That's his, big spot, and Aquaman doesn't really know how to function yet. My biggest problem is the fight on land. And I get it, the movie's gotta happen, Aquaman's gotta prove his worth, which he still doesn't. They still defeat Orm by discrediting him, but whatever. And Aquaman gets a cheap shot, and that's the only way he wins. And I guess he's the coolest, though. But he electrocutes Superman once. once, and he's just out. Superman's like, dude, this is too much. This isn't my movie, dude. I'm not here for this. I'm not here to get electrocuted. All right, I'm here to win. Fuck off with that, Orb Man. Don't come talking to me about Superman and magic. I don't give a shit if he's bad against magic. Lightning is lightning, and the boy just got out because he got electrocuted. It's not even because the trident was like stabbed in his chest. That that had nothing to do with it, and it was just lightning. He was like, ooh, ow, oh my body, my Superman body, it hurts. I don't like the electricity. I'm Superman, but no, please. So on to the next thing. Black Manta is tragically underutilized in this film, in preference to Orm. The same fucking mistake that the actual cinematic universe DC film made. Just getting rid of Black Manta like halfway through because, this Orm plot is the one people give a shit about. No one gives a shit about Worm. Who gives a fuck about the Worm Man? He has a trident and he's like, you're a bastard, and he kind of looks like Sasuke. I just don't care about him. Give me Black Manta. That guy's so fucking cool. He shoots lasers out of his head, but not like Superman does it. He does it, like from the fight. It's one of the best scenes in the movie is at the very end where Black Manta starts monologuing to like a helpless Aquaman on his back. And they do straight up steal the big shark scene from Jurassic World, which was really great. But it's still funny. Black Manta's monologue, he's like, you never stood a chance. And Aquaman just psychic calls a giant shark and it eats him. And that's it. And he's like, ah! It's very funny. My last gripe with the film is one that will be coming up commonly in other films of the DCAU, which I might cover. And God, it's fucking aggravating over and over and over again, which is that Flash is too strong for the film. The writers do not know how to deal with Flash as a threat for the foe. Obviously, Flash, super speed, right? So picture like the classic Sky High scene. You remember where like the dude's running really fast and the guy's like almost out of oxygen. So he has to, like, predict the dude's movements, right? You have to, like, predict... I think that's how that film went. I don't know. I haven't seen it in fucking years. But if you've seen a superhero movie before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The dude with super speed is running all over, jabbing, doing all these things. So the villain, to defeat this, to counter this super speed, just decides to hit him. The thing that they had struggled to do. But it's okay. It's because they predicted the speedster's movements. Now, I think a good example of this, something where it actually works, is Captain America Civil War. Captain America isn't attacking Iron Man at super speed. And yet, even then, Iron Man needs, like, full AI computer help to analyze and predict the man's moves. In superhero films, and in this film, Orm just fucking, he's like, Flash super fast. He's like, no. Bam, I hit you. And that's just really, really grating every time it happens. Because every time Flash gets taken out by a foe in one of these films, it's just because he's mid-run and they, like, predict where he's going to be. Even though a speedster, at least in the DC, has been established, Flash thinks just as fast as he runs. It's not just his body that has super speed. He can think real fucking quick. It doesn't make him a super genius, but it means if he sees his foe to him in like slow motion, moving to predict him, Flash should be able to process that in time and redirect his things. There have been ways that Flash has been stopped in the comics and in movies and animated things before that don't undermine his superpower, and I really wish they'd stop doing that. Orm's not a super genius. He can't. All in all, this was a solid film. The beginning is truly fantastic. it more than justifies the lagging and kind of drop off it does throughout the movie, because the beginning, the opening scenes, I do hate to say, are kind of highlights of the movie, but that's not to say there's nothing enjoyable in the rest of the movie. The whole movie is very enjoyable, just, not necessarily as great. There are some great scenes, like the one I mentioned at the very end with the Black Manta monologue, but I'd give this film a strong 3 out of 5. I think it very much secures that position. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. Maybe see y'all tomorrow or something. Have a good day.